Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Advance. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, and entertainment. And we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And folks, we got a hell of a show for y'all that's probably going to piss off some people. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. Be sure to follow me on Instagram. My handle is CTABANZ. So let's get into today's topic here. Now, I forgot what show we were doing that we did a show that was centered on some comments that Charles Barkley was making about Michael Jordan. And then I was thinking about what's going on with LeBron in this situation, is potentially leaving the Lakers and all of that, and the back and forth between LeBron fans, Kobe fans, Laker fans. Everybody's just been talking about it. And then we also produced a show that was centered on what Nick Wright had to say yesterday about why he believes the Lakers are unhappy, LeBron James is unhappy with the Lakers. So then I started to think back about Nick Wright and how much of a Kobe Bryant hater he had been. I remember the time Nick Wright went after Kobe because LeBron James, he basically said LeBron was trying to shape the narrative to other things instead of winning championships. That's what Kobe Bryant has said. And he was basically saying, if you're LeBron James, you got to figure it out. And Nick Wright went off, right? Nick Wright was the first person I ever heard in sports media say that at no point in time Kobe Bryant was ever the best player in basketball. That's when I knew I needed to stop taking Nick Wright seriously. That was when I decided, okay, this guy is not serious. But one of the things that people don't realize is that a lot of the LeBron fans don't like Kobe because they feel like Kobe is more respected than LeBron, and even Jordan respects Kobe more than LeBron James, right? And one of the people that pointed this out was Nick Wright. Now, when did he point this out? If you guys remember, when LeBron passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the scoring record, it was supposed to be this big thing. Everybody was supposed to be, wow, this is a seminal moment in the sport. And they tried to build it up as some very big thing. But what ended up happening was the moment lasted for as long as it lasted, which was pretty much the duration of the basketball game. And don't forget, the Lakers lost that game. And in fact, storylines that came out subsequently were, why didn't Anthony Davis stand up and cheer and stuff like that? And I think Nick Wright and a lot of the Clutch guys and LeBron fans thought that this was going to be some big moment where people would come to this realization like, wow, you see, LeBron is just in a realm by himself and he's better than Jordan. Look what he just did. When in reality, the vast majority of NBA fans didn't care because they thought that scoring title was going to be the thing that put LeBron over the top, because LeBron knew that it would be very difficult to catch Jordan in rings. So now he started to go for individual accolades, which became abundantly clear. Hence the reason Kobe made those comments. But we've always known that NBA fans generally don't respect LeBron, but it seems like LeBron fans know it as well. And Nick Wright himself basically started crying on TV and on his podcast when he had to publicly admit that NBA fans don't respect LeBron James the way they do Kobe Bryant. So we want to play two sounds. The first sound is of him crying on his podcast about the fact that nobody respects LeBron. And the second one was with him actually saying it on Speak with his, First Things First with Kevin Wiles and Chris Broussard, where he says, he said if Kobe had passed Kareem in the scoring title, it would have been more of a big deal, and nobody seems to care that LeBron James did it. Take a listen to Nick right here.
He's 150 points away from passing Kareem, and it seems like the media collectively has decided we're not treating this like a big deal. For the last 40 years, every single day, the NBA's all-time scoring leader has been Kareem. It was thought of as a truly unbreakable record up to and including 5, 6, 7 years ago. The longer the timeline goes, the more people are going to think Michael Jordan being the greatest ever is ludicrous. History's going to look at it and say, why is Jordan the best? People will be like, well, he has 6 championships. It's like, oh, that's the most? No, there's this guy named Bill Russell. He has 11. He scored 32,000 points. Oh, who has the most? LeBron, how many did he score? 44,000. The gap between Jordan and LeBron is bigger than the gap between Jordan and Paul Pierce. Nobody seems to care.
What I'm going to say is this quickly. Because it's of LeBron's larger-than-life persona and his greatness, he has made this record more than it really has ever been, and with all due respect to Kareem, it now is a bigger record because he has it, and rather than it was before.
So this is where I stand on the NBA record book, because I do feel like so much of NBA history is reverse engineered to tell the Michael Jordan story. The reason that if this record doesn't matter, then what we are, or I know you're not saying doesn't matter, but isn't, a top tier record, then I think what we're saying is the NBA has one record people care about, 100 points in a game, and that's it. And I disagree. Because you can't point to anything else, and the only logical reason I can find for that is because the guy most people have considered as the greatest player ever doesn't hold any of the records. But I am as certain as I am that I am sitting here right now, that if Kobe Bryant had broken this record, it would be treated as if it were the most important record in league history. Certainly, if Michael Jordan had broken this record, it would be treated as if it were the most important record in NBA history. So I would just ask, if this record isn't something, then does the NBA have no records that matter?
So you heard what Nick Wright said. Nick, this all boils down to one simple word. And that word is respect. Fans respected those guys more. You can't buy respect, Nick. You can't twerk your way up you can't twerk it up and get respect. You can't pour honey all over each other's booties and get respect. You can't bombard NBA fans with a whole bunch of paid analysts saying one nonsense after the other and think you're going to generate respect. It doesn't work like that. It's either people have it for you or they don't. And a lot of it has to do with the fact of whether or not people think you are sincere. They don't respect LeBron, bro. They don't. The way you would have thought. So you saying that it would have been a bigger deal if Kobe Bryant did? Yeah, it probably would have been a bigger deal. Because Kobe was more respected, man. A lot of the way people feel about LeBron has to do with a lot of just smoke and mirrors and you guys trying to manufacture this thing. People know the real, Nick. Even LeBron knows he's not respected. LeBron James knows he's not respected. Do you know how I know? Because he said it at the end of that post game when he won the finals in 2020. He said, I want my respect. He knows he's not respected. So the question is why, Nick? Why? What about LeBron is it that people don't respect? They don't respect the 40,000. Nobody cares, bro. You guys are just up there bringing up one milestone after the other that nobody cares about. Haven't you asked yourself the question, if him passing Kareem was the end, was the end all be all end all, rather, why didn't everybody come to that conclusion? The fact of the matter is the scoring title was never it. People care about what you did in your prime, but you guys are trying to bend the conversation into something else, which is now longevity, when that was never the conversation. You're trying to shift the goalpost. This is Nick Wright admitting it. But then Kobe's jealous of LeBron. Make it make sense. Nick believed that Kobe's jealous of LeBron, but meanwhile, nobody respects LeBron. Why would Kobe be jealous of a person nobody respects? Does that make sense? Who was the one that Jordan took under his wing and brought into the fold? Was it not Kobe? Wasn't it LeBron that's always said he would love to have a relationship with Michael Jordan? Who did Michael Jordan always have a relationship? Was it not Kobe? But Kobe's jealous of LeBron. What is Kobe jealous about? Would Kobe have to be jealous about? What? That he doesn't have paid shills in media that go out there and lie on his behalf. They call LeBron the GOAT. He has to be jealous of that. Kobe knows the deal, bro. We all know. Y'all are just a bunch of paid actors on TV. I got sources in the NBA too that have told me a lot of these guys are paid under the table to say this stupid nonsense that they say. But here you have it, folks. Nick Wright publicly admitting that nobody respects LeBron in comparison to Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. That's him saying it. That's not me. That's him.